Okay, hi guys. It's Tuesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. A couple of things that we're going to be doing in third grade LEAP today. First things first, I would like for you to please complete the mid-chapter checkpoint. Remember, that's going to count as a quiz. It's on page 239 and 240. So it's going to look like this, what you see on the video. Okay, you guys know the drill. We do this all the time. So it's going to be that page and then the back page, page 230 as well. In order to submit that, you can do one of two things. The easiest is probably to take a photo of your completed work. Make sure to do both pages and have mom or dad send that to me on the Remind app so that I can grade it. Another way that you can do it if you'd like is I'm having office hours Tuesday and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you are able to, or have mom or dad come and drop it off, and that way I can get it graded. So either one of those ways, and if neither one of those ways works for you, then we'll just have you turn it in when we return to school. Okay, here's our lesson for today. After you take the chapter quiz, the mid-chapter 6 quiz, we're going to be working with arrays again, doing some modeling. This is lesson 6.6 on page 241. Well, that's where it starts, page 241. So model with arrays. We are going to be using tiles similar to these. We've used them many times in class, and I know you don't have those at home, so that's okay. I just want you to kind of follow along with me. So we've been trying to relate multiplication and division. So let's go ahead and take a look at lesson 6.6. Okay, in my investigate, you can use arrays to model division and find equal groups. So my very first step, what they want me to do is they want me to count out 30 tiles. So I've counted out my 30. I already did that ahead of time, so there's 30 here. And they want me to make a row of 5 tiles. So there's going to be a row of 5 tiles. So, and it doesn't matter what colors we're using. So here is a row. Remember, rows go side to side. There you go. Columns go up and down. Rows go side to side. So here's 5. And now I'm going to continue to make rows of 5 until I have used all my tiles. So one at a time, rows of 5. Whoops, forgot one there. There we go. And remember, I want to do it until they're all gone, until all the tiles are used up. There we go. And I think I dropped one. There should be one more. Here we go. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 in each row. I don't know if you guys can see all the rows that I've created. Let me kind of adjust the iPad or the stand a little bit here. I know it's kind of hard to see. Sorry about that. Okay. So I've got all my rows of 5 in each row. Now I have to figure out how many rows I have all together. So if I count my rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my very last row at the bottom there. So what we just did is we found out how many rows of 5 to make if we start with 30 tiles, and I was able to make 6 complete rows. So please go ahead and follow along and plug in your answers along with me. Let's look at draw conclusions. Explain how you use the tiles to find the number of rows the number of rows of 5 in 30. Now we're kind of going to just repeat what went on up here, the different steps that we took, except using your own words, your own language. Pretend you're trying to explain this to somebody that has never seen this concept before, and it's up to you to teach them how to do it. So anyway you want to say it, totally up to you. What I would say is I counted out, or how about I counted 30 tiles and put them in rows of 5. The question here for number 2, What multiplication equation could you write for the array? I could write 5 times 6 equals 30. You could have also written it as 6 times 5 equals 30. And if you remember, I'm able to do this because there's a special property that tells me that I can move my factors around and get the same product, and that is the commutative property of multiplication. Number 3, tell how to use an array to find how many rows of 6 are in 30. So again, pretend you're teaching this to somebody that doesn't know how to do it. I count 30 tiles and put them in rows of 6. Okay? All right, good. We're done with that page. Let's go ahead and turn to the next page. On this one, you guys are going to be doing some drawing here. Let me get my book adjusted. Okay, we're going to make some connections here. You can write a division equation to show how many rows of 5 are in 30. This is real similar to what we just did, except now they're going to want you to do some drawing instead of using the tiles. We're going to draw pictures of the tiles. So it's real important that you read it carefully. The rows of 5. So each row has to have 5. Notice they already started this for you. So here's 5. And remember, I have to have 30 all together. So I'm going to make rows of 5 until I end up having a total of 30 tiles. So I've got 5, 10, 15. Notice I'm skip counting by 5s. There's 20. And you're probably not going to want to write too big. And one more row. Hopefully that gets me to 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I've shown 30. The division problem could be written 30 divided by 5 equals however many rows you ended up with. So there are 6 rows. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. Okay? Now this next one. I'm going to read it, and then I want you guys to pause the video, and I would like for you guys to try this on your own. So try this. Count out 24 tiles. Again, obviously you guys don't have 24 tiles, but pretend you do. Make an array with the same number of tiles in each of the 4 rows. So I've got 4 rows. Remember, rows go side to side. What they want you to do is to place 1 tile in each of the rows, then continue placing 1 tile in each row until you've used all your tiles. Now remember, you have 24 tiles. So I've got 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't write too big because you're going to have to do this. So please go ahead and pause the video, and you're going to continue until you've got to 24 tiles all together. All right, go ahead and do that now. And if you can answer the questions down below that picture, that would be great. Okay, so you should have ended up with your picture looking something like this. And I'm writing really fast. Sorry about that. And one more. And right here, how many tiles are in each row? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 tiles in each row. The division problem would be 24 divided by 4 equals 6. There you go. So you just solved that division problem. Okay, moving on to page 243. get adjusted here in the book again. Okay. So again, they want you to use those square tiles. So if I have, it says how many rows of 3? So there's going to be 3 in each row. So just imagine, you might want to have an extra piece of paper, a piece of scratch paper, or if you guys have your own whiteboards at home. So I'm imagining that I have a total of 18 tiles, and I want them in rows of 3. Make sure you read it real careful. Now, I don't have any room to work out the problem here, but I do know each row is going to look similar to this. So I've got 3, and then the next row would have another 3, and another 3, all the way until you finish, and you have a total of 18 tiles all together. So your answer here, if you were to do the problem, drawing out your tiles, again, please do that on a sheet of paper. I should have told you that to begin with, sorry. And you might want to pause for a second so you can get the answer. Your answer is going to be 6 rows. You should have ended up with 6 rows. Hopefully you guys are already making the connection, and I know you already did because I remember last week. You are making the connection of division and multiplication. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So it's almost like a fact family. You guys learned that way back when, probably in kindergarten or first grade. Okay, please pause the video and let's go ahead and do numbers 2 through 8 using your piece of scratch paper to model using your tiles, which I know you don't have tiles, but go ahead and do the drawing. And then we will check your answers in just a moment. Okay, we're back. Let's check and see how you guys did. How many rows of 6 are in 12? There are 2 rows of 6 that are in 12. Number 3, how many rows of 7 are in 21? There's 3. How many rows of 8 are in 32? You should have 4. And 25 tiles, if I have 5 in each row, now that what they want me to do is write a division equation. So your bigger number here is going to be your dividend. Remember, that's the bigger number always comes first in your division problem. Divided by 5 equals 5. Some of you would prefer to write it like this. We talked about this last week too, about using the house. That's okay too, if you want to write it that way. Either way is fine. I'm just going to do it this way just because it makes more sense with the line, but it doesn't matter. 14 divided by 2 equals 7. 28 divided by 4 9. 27 divided by 9 equals 3. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, my bad. This is a 7. Sorry about that. 7. There we go. Okay. Let's look at problem solving. Tell how to use an array to find how many rows of 8 are in 40. This is very similar to what we just did on the first page of the lesson 241, explaining to somebody how to use arrays and tiles. So right here, if you were to try to teach somebody, how would you do this? Count out 40 tiles and put in rows of 8 for a total of 5 rows. So count out 40 tiles, put in rows of 8 for a total of 5 rows. Okay, let's look at this mathematical practice here. Number 10. Show 2 ways you can make an array with tiles. For 18 divided by 6, shade squares on the grid to record the arrays. Okay, so my problem is 18 divided by 6. Now, I know what most of you guys already know what that is because you know your basic math facts. So by knowing your basic math facts, you're going to know division. 3. So what they want me to do is to shade the grid showing my factors. So I've got 6 and 3 as a factor. Leave yourself plenty of room because we're going to have 2 different drawings in this grid. So if I want to model 6 times 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to open up this grid to show 6 times 3. Now using your commutative property, you can do the same thing, flip those factors around. 3, 1, 2, 3. And I need 6 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there would be my model for that one. For 18 divided by 6 equals 3. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and erase this. We are going to do the top part of the next page real quick. Okay, unlocking the problem here. And I'm not sure if this is on your interactive student, but you guys are always welcome to go on the interactive student. You should have all your login information. So if you want a little extra practice or to see it again, you're welcome to do that. Okay, unlock the problem. Look for structure. Thomas has 28 tomato seedlings to plant in his garden. He wants to plant 4 seedlings in each row. How many rows of tomato seedlings will Thomas plant? A, what do you need to find? And we know this. It's typically the last sentence in the problem. That's usually what they want you to find out. So, what are you trying to find? How many seedlings? I'm sorry, how many rows of seedlings? Thomas will plant. Okay, what operation could I use to solve the problem? I'm going to use division. Right here, they want you to draw an array to find the number of rows of tomato seedlings. So right here, if you can go ahead, and they didn't give you a whole lot of room, so you got to do the best you can to squeeze that in. Remember, he started with 28 tomato seedlings, and he wants to plant 4 in each row. So the row is going to start looking like this. There's going to be 4 in each row. Keep going until you get to 28. Gosh, they sure did not give you guys enough room, did they? So keep drawing that. D says, what is another way you could have solved the problem? We could have solved it using repeated subtraction. And if you remember back from last week, and it was even on your quiz today, repeated subtraction, I'm going to set this aside for a second, looks like this. You start with however many seedlings we began with for Thomas, subtract 4. Then I'm going to take whatever answer I got and subtract 4 again. You're going to keep subtracting by 4s until you get to 0. Hopefully this looks familiar to you guys. And I ran out of room, so I'm going to come down here. Four minus 4, and now I can stop because I've got to 0. To get your answer, if you use repeated subtraction, you're going to go back and count how many times you subtracted 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So your answer would be 7. So that's just a side note for repeated subtraction. All right, we're almost done. Complete the sentences. I'm on E. Thomas has 28 seedlings. Remember, that's what he started with. He wants to plant 4 seedlings in each row. So Thomas will plant 7 rows of tomato seedlings. Okay, well that's it for today, guys. We are not going to be doing the practice book page that goes along with this because it requires you to have arrays, or not arrays, I'm sorry, tiles like these. So we're not going to do that today, but I think we've got enough done with your quiz and with this lesson today. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please have Mom or Dad send me a message on the Remind, or they can send me an email too. I'm here for you, and so if you guys need anything, let me know. All right, have a great day. Bye, guys.